Welcome to the Patriots Lab, where we ain't even trying to make them liberals mad. Cause freedom of speech is what us individuals have. It's the gift when we gab, talking about things that the brainwash cannot mentally grasp, like staying loud and waving our American flags. This is for the free thinkers, wearing their MAGA and wearing the cags. Draining the swamp is the ultimate goal, but the sheeple will swear it's a fad, like it's just a phrase. But when we show them the facts, the fools got nothing to say. And deep government state wanna get up in our face, but hasn't done it yet cause Trump's in the way, trying to protect us from a troublesome fate. And because of that, we'll never lose our faith, plus God keeping us cool and safe. But I still hope we get 4 more years so we can throw a huge parade. I can see it now, Patriots on a float, and POTUS will go down in history as one of the GOATs for making the swamp pay for taking every one of his votes. His enemies are the cancer, whether or not Trump give him the smoke. Now relax it back and take notes as we kick facts with the homie Ray though. Speak your mind in the Patriots Lab. It's freedom time in the Patriots Lab, where we ain't even trying to, we make them liberals mad. I said speak your mind in the Patriots Lab. It's freedom time in the Patriots Lab, where we not even trying to, we make them liberals mad. I said, speak your mind in the Patriots Lab. It's freedom time in the Patriots Lab, where we not even trying to, we make them liberals mad. Speak your mind. It's freedom time. Without even trying to, we make them liberals mad.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Good morning, people, patriots, whoever you consider yourself to be. Welcome to another edition of Morning Coffee. And I got with me this morning Randy, the genealogist Rose. How are you this morning, Brother Randy?
I'm doing okay. It's good to be on your show today.
Hey, it's good to have you here. You know, I had some downtime. And what have we gone through? Father's Day. How was your Father's Day before we go any further?
Well, my family's kind of screwed up. This come from a genealogist makes no sense, but it's just my daughter, myself, and me, and there's just the three of us on TV. My son, he is a big party time guy, but he forgets he has a dad sometimes, and so he and his wife and 3 grandkids and her side of the family all got together for barbecues and swimming pool and stuff like that, and.
Right.
Kind of like let this be. So this is fine. I'm used to it now after all these years.
Well, I would in this day and age, I would say I don't like playing the percentages. Yes, I do. I would say 95% of us have some type of dysfunctional family.
Yeah.
Because we're not put on this earth to get along. Not even with family all the time. But the most important thing at the end of the day is we love them. Hopefully we can have some type of mutual respect, because we're not always going to agree. We're not always going to agree. The best fights are the family fights, because
Yeah.
they tend after a period of time, you get to make up and everything and be family.
But yeah, the biggest thing that affects me emotionally is that when my father was alive, he's been gone now 20 some years, same with my mom. But when they were both alive, in good, physically good health, if you wanted a party or a good family gathering, you went to my dad's house. My dad had a very nice property, a very nice home, prior military, so we had access to, the BAX and the alcohol and the food at a discounted price. And he'd go to the nearest military base and he would just, stock up the car and, and the trunk, the back seat, the front seat sometimes. And he'd come home with all this food, all this alcohol. And we had this big gathering outside, picnic tables and, the yard games, and, the uncles and aunts were in the family room. They were having a good time drinking and drinking and good time drinking and drinking. You get the message. And the cousins and so forth, they were there, they were all young. So, they were out in the backyard, playing the yard games. And the older folks, the grandparents were, sitting in a lounge chair, just, eating food. But when my dad, and that's the way it was for years, and it was always expected, every major holiday, right? And then some. But then when my dad passed away, it all stopped. no one picked up the mantle of having the big family get together. You know,
Well, yeah, and you know what? That seems to be something that's universal. We all had that go-to person that we knew, like my grandmother, my mom, rest in peace. You know, she was the gathering person. She would throw the barbecues and stuff like that. We're picking it back up. It faded away for a minute, but there's always that one person who holds everything together, the glue of the family. You know, that
yeah,
they always
yeah,
can count on where they're gonna, especially as a little kid, you know where you're gonna be on Christmas. You know whose house you're gonna be at,
yeah.
who's got the big house and who's got the pool, and where you gonna be at on the 4th of July. Good morning, Lynetta Nell. My cousin, lady truck driver out there on the road. Travel safe. Good morning, Dottie Estates. Also, Dottie is up early. I believe she is. Well, I was about to say West Coast, but I'm not sure. But it's me and Mr. Randy Rose this morning. And if you want to join the live panel, let me go ahead and make sure that you do see the link up on the screen. We're just gonna keep it actual and factual today. And before we get started, I guess we'll get into today's news. You know, I wish I had some good news to bring you people, but we've been seeing it all around, and this is the new narrative now. This is the new narrative. Don't let your eyes believe what you see. Don't do it, people.
Video clips going viral that make President Biden look as though he's confused during public events and other appearances. White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre blasted the use of the misleading videos, which are edited to make the president look bad and then circulated by right-wing media and allies. Take a look.
They are cheap fakes video. They are done in bad faith, and some of your news organization have been very clear, have stressed that these the right wing critics of the president have a credibility problem because of the fact checkers have repeatedly caught them pushing misinformation, disinformation.
Okay, before we go any further, Dottie Estates is in South Florida. Good morning, South Florida. We got Big Bruce, my Democratic brother from another mother, who is in the Philippines. I don't know how the reception is, but Big B, I sent you the invite. Feel free to come over. If I didn't, the link is on the screen. But people, don't believe what you see now. First, it was don't believe what you hear, because they was telling us all kind of shit. And we had our own people telling us shit. And they like, nah, I don't believe that shit because you believe in lies. But now that we went a step further and we actually have video montage, I'm not even going to go and show you the clip because I know you've been seeing it all over the place. Even the mainstream media is showing it, but they're saying it's manipulated. So now the right has gone to the depths of the left, and we are now doctoring and manipulating live uncut footage that everybody is watching at the same time, and we're bringing back, and the only thing we're doing different is re-airing it at a different time. The same footage. How can you manipulate a live shot? So, don't believe nothing you see. When you seen Barack Obama grab Papa by the arm and never let his ass go until they got behind the black, I don't even think he let him go. Yeah, he let his ass fall when they got behind that curtain. Can you imagine the conversation with Barack Obama and Joe Papa Biden when he took his hand off that stage and what he said, I told you was going to fuck everything up. I told you. Now bring your ass on somewhere. What you got to say about that, Randy?
You know, I was saying about this the other day. to my family, since my family's Democrat, to my wife, who still sided with me, and on Dave's show, you know, it's embarrassing. It makes me want to throw up. Get that bile comes up into your throat and it sits there and burns your larynx. And it's like, damn, how much more embarrassment can our nation take? And there he goes. Yeah, he's walking off the field away from the Italians and the parachuter, and he's shaking the open air again. I don't know if you guys saw that, but he's shaking. His hand is shaking. Like he's shaking hands with somebody. And then he's on the stage with Barack Obama and someone else, and he kind of has that frozen look. I know he's not doing a remake of the cartoon Frozen, but Barack Obama has to walk him off, and if you take notes, he didn't take him by the hand. He had his arm underneath his shoulder, kind of like leading him. It's embarrassing. I mean, at what point do the people on the left say enough is enough, folks? We got to get him out of here. We need to find a replacement, even if it's going to be Kamala for 4 months. We need to stop the embarrassment of our nation.
All right, real quick, I'm going to cut you off. I got T-Bro in the building. We are sitting back talking actual and factual on all things American today. It doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on. Wrong is wrong, right is right. Elder abuse is elder abuse, no matter how you slice it and dice it. I don't care if you're Democrat or Republican. I just want to make sure you're a strong leader for this country. T-Bro, go ahead and introduce yourself to the platform.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Hey,
Good morning. Good morning.
how you doing?
I'm all right.
Yeah, man. Glad to join y'all. Happy to join y'all. Thanks for having me.
Glad to have you here. As you can tell, we basically talk all things American.
Yeah.
As an African American male out there in the world today, how do you see this country, and what do you think we can do to improve the situations that we're in right now?
Yeah, man. That's a long answer. I moved to Africa 3 years ago, and I just came back. I've been back for like 3 months, shipping the rest of my furniture, and had to redo my passport, redo my driver's license, just take care of some business. And since I've been back, I haven't really spoke about it. I just been observing, paying attention, and all I could tell y'all, and I'm just being real, like the energy level in our country right now is really not good. People don't look happy. Let me give a quick example. So, I speak to the ladies. I got a whole lot of ladies that's on my friend list on Facebook, and I'm not making this up. This is a fact. I'm telling y'all the truth. I have been here since March the 22nd. I've been in grocery stores, Walmart, restaurants, regular places. I have not had one lady say hello to me since I've been here. I'm not talking about rapping, flirting, none of that. I'm saying hi. I have not had, and as far as the men, I've had a few men nod at me, I've had more men nod at me than I've had women say hi. So that's just a simple example of what I mean when I say the energy is bad. To me, it's bad. I don't like it. It doesn't feel positive, and I don't know what we're gonna do to turn it around, y'all. But I'm telling you, compared to in Africa, other countries I go to, you come here, everything looks beautiful. Everybody got nice cars, nice apartments, nice house, but the energy, very negative, very bad.
See, and that's when you're able to kind of sense that there's a type of an aura that is set around the whole environment of it all to where people, like you said in the beginning, are just unhappy. Generally, they're just unhappy. We got my big brother Bruce, my Democratic brother from another mother who is vacationing in the Philippines. I'm glad you
What's up?
were able to join us. What are you 11 o'clock p.m.?
That's 10, what, 10:50?
Yeah.
It's yeah, 10:50 here.
Okay. Well,
Um,
you're around the other side of the world. I appreciate you. What's going on? What's the vibe like out there? What's the energy like on that side?
the energy is good here. People are good here. Women say hi to you. Uh, um, and you're right. Uh, when you look at places, when you go out of country, Africa, Philippines, wherever, um, you know, people they like the good Americans. Obviously, they see what's going on, but when they're not looking, they're laughing at us, and it's what it is. Do I feel more comfortable here? Like I'm sure the brother, you know, that lives in Africa, like he feels there, because people work their butts off and don't get paid a damn. They don't get paid good. That's why everything's cheap. But then when we go back to the United States and we see what all that's going on, and all you want to do is run away again.
Yes.
And I'm just being honest with you. I love America. I love America like you guys do, but when it boils down to it, I'm going to be living here. I'm not going to live there. Nothing against it, but I've had enough. Nobody wants to listen. Everybody wants to fight. Everybody wants to blame. And you know how the thing goes. You know, they treat Randy, people his age and older. America treats them like crap. Let's be honest. So they don't do that here.
Randy.
You're older here. When you're old, when you're a senior citizen here, or you're older, you get treated with respect and the kindness because you're an elder. America doesn't think that way. America's going backwards, man.
I agree. And I would say, and not to get political, but there.
Go ahead and get political.
No. It's just that it seems, depending on which political party is in the White House, it seems to depend on how people look at us. Start with from outside our country, and how we look at how we ourselves look at ourselves. When Trump was in office, there was this the Americans, loved the United States. We were proud to fly the flag. We had our memorial parades, marching down the small towns, and we had the fire trucks out, and the old men in uniform from World War II who are still able to walk down and showing that respect we had for the military, respect for the police officers, our respect for ourselves, right? But then you have the other side of the equation, and and I don't. Hopefully, it's not just me seeing this, but it's almost like they want to do everything possible to destroy this nation, to tear it down, to make a mockery of us. I mean, come on. If Trump was that mentally incapacitated for 3.5, almost 4 years, damn well the party would be whatever they could do to get him out, because he is an embarrassment to himself.
Hey, Randy,
he's an embarrassment to the nation.
Randy, real quick, I just thought of something. Just had a brain click real quick.
Brain fart.
Just so everybody understands, I'm a lifelong Democrat, not a Republican. I'm an independent thinker now myself. But for politics' sake, we will now include all those freaking rhinos along with the Democrats, okay? Because this way, everybody don't want you just. You piling up on Democrats? No, we got some snake ass rhinos in there too, that don't have the betterment for this country.
Unfortunately, when Trump was got in, and he got in with at that point it was the landslide, and hopefully, I want to tell you right now, I don't see him getting reelected. Okay, at all. Okay, I'm going to throw that out. I don't see him surviving November 4th. Okay, I see him getting taken out by some lucky shooter or someone who's paid, because right now the Democrats know that unless they get someone else in to run for office, if we keep the politics and the polling stations 100% up in front, Trump's going to win by the biggest landslide this nation's ever seen. They cannot allow that to happen. That's why I'm saying he will not survive November 4th.
Let's go away from the from the ping route. I don't want to see my boy get hurt. I love the Don. I don't want to see him get hurt. So I'll take it this way. As we know, the U.S. House of Representatives have just enacted the Selective Service Draft. Now, do y'all remember a movie back in the day when old boy said, if the first order was okay, why the second order? If the first order was cool, that y'all already had the draft. No, the draft was already implemented. Then why y'all got to come back and revisit it? Oh, to take it from 18 to 24 to 18 to 26. See, why up to 26? If everything is copacetic and cool, you could have just left it at 24. They know where we're headed. And now they want women. They're making women have to go. So they have, and they try to say, well, we just revised it. It's not going to happen. But this is just to let you know that the president does have the power to call them up at any time. So you really expect me to think that this motherfucker ain't going to call them up? That's what you're trying to put in my head. Oh, we're revising it and we're implementing it. And we're letting you know that the president does have the power to call him up at any time, but he's never going to do it. Okay, so what in the past that this motherfucker said he wasn't going to do that he undone? Well, how many times am I supposed to believe him? See, that's at the point I'm at. You white, black, Chinese, Hindu, Republican, Democrat, independent. You're not going to lie to me over and over and over and over again. Go ahead, T bro.
I got something to say on this topic.
Go ahead.
I kind of been holding back on this. Because I hate even talking about it because it's really depressing, honestly. And when I even think about it, you know, in case I am right, but I pray that I'm not. I really do. But one, this is what I tell people over where I'm at. This is what I try to explain to them in what I see happening in America. Their goal is globalism. They've shown that, they've admitted that, they don't even hide it. They've even done it with sports. Now, even basketball. They've globalized basketball. All the stars are from another country. They don't even want to, and it ain't even about color. They don't even want to promote a black or a white player from America. They want every player to be foreign. Okay? The goal is globalism. The problem is they cannot conquer true globalism until America falls. We are the country that is in the way. We are the ones with the First and the Second Amendments. We are the ones with guns in almost every household. So as long as America is in the way and we have money, we have funds, we have cars and homes, they cannot conquer true globalism. So everything that's happening, food prices, rent going up, salaries going down, it is to increase the speed of America falling. Now, let me get to this draft thing. Yes, I'm glad you brought that up, man. It really irked me when I learned about this automatic sign up for selective service. And now they're signing up women. Go back to the feminists talking about equal rights. All that was a setup, y'all. This was to lead to today. All of this.
One second, bro. Hey,
go ahead.
Y'all hear T bro talking? I can promise you. I promise you to God. I was strolling through my Facebook page last night, And when I heard this brother talking on his live, he wasn't even talking about politics. This brother was talking about how he was waiting on some packages and he was trying to solve the problem on how his packages would get to him. I don't know the whole issue, they wasn't getting there, whatever. And he finally decided to let go and let God. When I heard him talk about let go and let God, see, if you really believe in God, you don't see no Democratic Party, you don't see no Republican Party. You see you see what's happening between the spiritual divide against the powers and forces of evil and good. And for him to talk the shit I've been talking for 8 years and to not even know him just gives me a little bit more validation about how I see black men in America using their intellect and using their struggle, their past experiences to put it all together and comprehend, to be able to comprehend what's really going on. Go ahead, T bro. Back to you, bro.
Yeah. Thanks, bro. I'm glad you caught me, man. You was leaving all them comments, and yeah, man. I'm glad you caught. It was just random, and I'm gonna go ahead and throw it in there. We not this. Is this on Facebook?
Bro, this is all over. This is on Facebook. This is on YouTube. This is on
Okay.
X. This is on
Look,
IG when I upload it.
I'm just throw it in there. I ain't got to go deep in it. Someone was holding my packages. They had them, and I know, and everyone else around me knew they wasn't gonna give them back. They was holding. They wanted them. They wanted all my packages, and I'm like, yo, when are you gonna meet me? Well, can you mail them? When am I gonna get my packages? And
They look
everybody,
expensive. I seen a lot of wires and electronic boxes, and they look expensive.
I'm opening a business in Africa where I'm gonna start selling remote control cars, trucks, drones, airplanes.
Okay.
I know how to work and all of that. So you see battery chargers, batteries, it's all that stuff for that hobby. Anyway, someone was holding my packages. I won't even say who it is because it's too dramatic. But long story short, I really did just decide to leave and go back to Africa without them. I let go. I let God. Next thing you know, the person texts me, and then boom, he dropped my packages off. That's just real. That's exactly what happened, y'all. So yeah, I just randomly went live because I just got my packages yesterday, and I've been waiting like a month and a half to get my packages. Yeah.
To get you back on the flow. Where's the country?
Yeah. So back on what I was saying with the draft thing, I just want to do the math and just real quick put that together. I don't know if y'all have noticed these celebrities. I call them devils. They're not celebrities to me. To me, they're devils. They are building new mansions and all. Have y'all heard about the bunker mansions?
Yes.
Okay, it's not being.
Zuckerberg just built one.
Yo, Rick Ross, the rapper, he's building one. They're building mansions underground. This is the first time this has ever started happening. Get to the bottom line is this, y'all. They're not building them bunker mansions just for nothing. They know something is coming. And if y'all haven't heard, I just learned this yesterday. A guy on YouTube said the manufacturing with like weapons, with nuclear weapons, the manufacturing has went up like 25%. They're looking for employees. They're trying to hire people for $100,000 a year to increase the building of war weapons. This is right now. And at the same time, you got Oprah, all these devils building bunkers underground in America. Y'all do the math. I'll leave it at that.
Well, I getting back to what Randy was talking about, and then I'm gonna throw it over to Big Bruce. I predict we're already in World War III. We are already, if we are given countries that are participating actively in the war, if we are supplying them with weapons indirectly, guess what? We are in the war. That's like your boy having a fight and you throwing punches from the side talking about you ain't in the fight. No. Or you stomp him, dude, stomp him. No, one of his boys gonna run up on you. You keep your mouth shut. If you don't want to be in nobody's business, you don't want nobody to accuse you of being in nothing, stay out of it. Or you in it. Now, Putin is pissed off because they just nearly missed one of his nuclear facilities with a missile that we supplied Ukraine. How many times do you think Putin's going to tolerate that shit? You think he's going to get mad at Ukraine? Yeah, but he's going to get mad at the supplier. We already in the beef with him. We in the beef with everybody. Randy, who we in the beef with around the world?
Everyone. Yeah, you figure Ukraine, you figure Russia. We're turning our backs on Israel. We're against Hamas. We're against the Palestinians. We're against Iran and all their little puppet nations. Obviously, North Korea. South Korea, we're saying, screw yous. Taiwan, we're turning our backs on Taiwan. The problem is that, the reason why we're building, we're trying to build up our own manufacturing of weapons is because we're giving all this shit away to Ukraine. And they're blowing it up as fast as we can give it to them. It boils down to it's not, the Abrams tank was supposed to be at one point in time the best tank in the world. And it would have been if there were American people actually working the damn tank. These tanks were built and designed for Americans and trained by Americans. We're giving these Abrams tanks over to Ukrainian soldiers, not saying they're not good soldiers, but let's face it, 500,000 dead bodies into the equation here. We're starting to get down on the part of the population that probably shouldn't be going to war because they're too damn old. So we're getting these tanks out there in a freaking open field, no air support, no ground support, and they're being blown to smithereens. The same with our airplanes that we're giving them. They're going up there 1 or 2 at a time. They're being shot down by Russian planes. The only thing that they got going for them are the drones, which doesn't take a brain surgeon to operate. It's a matter of a toggle switch and a headset, and you're good to go. But as soon as we give the shit to Ukraine, it's getting blown up and burned down, and people are dying. So, if we ever went to war, I don't think we're going to have the ability to sustain a long-term battle with what we have left. Look at what's gone on with the oil. We shut down the oil pipelines. We stopped the production of that. We sold off our reserves. So now if we did go to the war, we don't have the damn oil to supply to the tanks and the various armored vehicles and the jets. So, yeah, I mean, we're screwed when it comes to any type of future military operation.
You are so right. You are so right. I'm going to go ahead and show this next clip. We're going to move right along. Then, Big Bruce, I'm going to bring it right to you because this is your neck of the woods. Actually, I was born and raised in New York City, born and raised in Flushing, Queens. And where this next incident took place, it kind of touches close to home because I can remember vividly riding my Schwinn bicycle with the monkey handlebars. We ride to Casino Park all the time in Flushing, Queens. And we ride so far into Casino Park, it would actually touch into Botanical Gardens, and then you can connect into Flushing Meadow Park. Oh, as kids, we'd make a whole 8-10 hour day of it. But let me show this next clip, and then we'll get into the conversation.
Facing charges for the horrific rape of a 13-year-old in Queens.
People in Corona actually recognized the suspect from pictures and video put out by police, and they held him until officers could arrive to make the arrest.
Eyewitness News reporter Stefan Kim live this afternoon in Forest Hills with more. Stefan?
Well, Sandra and David, that suspect was processed by special victims detectives here at the 112th precinct and walked out in handcuffs just moments ago. But before arriving here, he was taken to a hospital for injuries he sustained after a beatdown by Good Samaritans who held him for police. Last week, police released a sketch of a man with a chest tattoo of a boar with red eyes. Then yesterday, the NYPD released these images. These Good Samaritans in Corona say they recognized him immediately, so they waited for him.
And once we seen the post, we were like, oh, he was just here. So we waited for him all day. We waited about 7 hours, probably even more. And he shows up in the middle of the night.
And then came the beatdown. Where are you going? They asked him in Spanish. 25-year-old Christian Giovanni Inga Landi, beaten and bruised, now charged with raping a 13-year-old in Flushing, Queens last week.
I seen him walk into the store and I had to take him out. And I told everybody, yo, this is the rapist, I punched him, I kicked him a little bit, I ain't gonna lie.
Jeffrey Flores was the first one to take him down. He has 2 little sisters and a daughter on the way. This felt personal to him. He put the suspect in a headlock, dragged him out of this deli in Corona, and tied his feet together with a belt.
Okay. So you see where we're getting to, right? It seems that citizens have decided to finally step up and do the work that the damn police could have done. And it was some New Yorkers, because we some brave, we built like that. We are built just like that. And there's always a blueprint to everything. Now, I would hate for this to have to start being the blueprint to what goes on around America, where every average, ordinary day American citizen decides they really have to take it upon themselves to take matters into their own hands. Now, the saving grace of this story, because there is one, is that the boy was left alive. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? Because I'm going to tell you right now, there's a slight difference between the Latino, Puerto Rican, and Latino community and the Black community. The ninjas would have handled his ass. Not a beat down, a rapist getting caught in the street. They shoot for the love of the game. Oh, you want to give him a reason? They'd have bust a couple in his ass and dropped them off like they do their homeboys right in front of the hospital or the damn the precinct. Just doing the police a favor. What do you say about that, Big Bruce? Because he was, once again, an illegal. This is like the fourth illegal that, and I know everybody commits crimes, but damn, if you know a certain portion commits crimes that comes into this country, shouldn't you be wanting to do something about it?
It's a good thing that they did what they did, because years ago that guy would have been shot down, and he'd have been left at a hospital somewhere, or maybe he did somewhere. Who knows? Again, people are getting tired. They don't want crime, and especially these scumbags that are going after children. Our children, man, it's sick. So that dude's lucky. Any other street, he might have been shot down. So,
my hope and prayer is this, especially with New York and with the way their track record has been with releasing illegals back onto the streets. The worst case scenario is that this guy should be sent to prison here in the United States, because we all know how prisoners treat others who are accused of pedophilia and rape and stuff like that. The criminal's life expectancy is not very long. The worst case scenario is to release him back onto the street, because you won't find a DA who who's willing to press charges against an actual criminal, and the next least possibility is to return him back to his country, only to return again a few weeks down the road. I don't think this guy is going to go to prison.
I think you're probably right. Probably won't. Seems like the ones that are coming over here and committing crimes and stuff. Obviously, we know what happened. What happened to those cops not too long ago, a couple months back?
I got a question.
Okay, yeah, just a second, man. So remember those cops that were beat down, and what happened? What happened to those guys? They left, right? They got released. No bond, no nothing. They got let go. So I'm just gonna say that, and I'm gonna say goodnight. So.
Hey, you get some rest, Big Bruce. Thank you for tuning in, brother. I appreciate your time. T-Bro, floor is yours.
Yeah. So, real quick, I said this from day one. I'm still going to keep saying it, no matter who agrees or disagrees with me. When they started letting people cross the border illegally, I said from day one, everybody's focused on votes. Everybody's focused on jobs being taken. I focused on something different. What I focused on was, if you're not background checking these people, then that means some of them definitely are criminals. Some of them definitely are rapists. Some of them definitely are molesters. Some of them definitely are drug dealers. All of that. So once you let them over, now the rate will be increased. The news will have more stories to talk about. Now they will get to speak bad on men on a higher percentage because of foreigners. Okay, they're not going to specifically say illegal. They're just going to say a man, this man 28. Well, they love to put
attack the man.
There you go. I mean, come on, man. You know that. So now
they're trying to put women at the forefront of everything.
Okay, so now there'll be more stories on rape, more stories on molesters, more stories on robbery, and now some of them won't even be us. It'll be them. Okay, and the last thing on this foreign topic, they have been trying to start a civil war for the last 50 years. They tried with race, they tried with class, they've tried with gender, they've tried with sexuality. Everywhere you twist it, they've tried to get us to go in civil war. This could be it, because if enough of these foreigners are raping and molesting people that we love, hopefully we're gonna fight back. And then if we fight back, the people who love them, they can fight back. So there could be a civil war between citizens and illegals.
There's millions of them here. There's millions of them here. And before we get into that, let's do this clip. We're running short on time. So let's go ahead.
Agents have arrested 8 individuals with suspected ties to the terror organization ISIS. The arrest took place in the Philadelphia, New York, and Los Angeles areas over the last couple of days. Officials say they believe the individuals came into the United States from the southern border within the last year. The suspects were initially allowed to enter the United States after being vetted, and no national security issues were uncovered until recently. Officials now in the process of deporting the suspects. Authorities say there is not enough evidence to bring any terror-related charges against them.
So basically, what they're telling you is, we believe they might have did some shit. They might be capable of doing some shit, but we can't prove it. On some high-level security shit like that, what do we need to prove? As long as we know that they're capable and they've done it in the past. And see, this is what I do. Remember earlier I stated in the show, I love to play the odds. I love to play the odds. So we got 11 million plus illegals over here. Do you really believe that only 8? They caught 8. You always catch a great lesser percentage than you don't catch. So if they caught 8, how many do you think they didn't catch?
About
Out of
80,000.
11 million.
About 80,000.
Yes, sir. We keeping it actual and factual, and we're ballparking. So when we talk about civil war and us doing stuff to people in Gaza when they have a fighting force already implemented within our country, us doing stuff to China and they've already implemented over 200,000 of their own nationalists over here, and God knows where they at. Now you can look at all the streets in all of the major cities and you can see Mexicans out in the street, the illegals. You can see the Somalians, the dark-skinned brothers out there. Where are all the slant-eyed people? Do we not understand those are the only people that can live underground for an unsubstantial period of time? Do we not realize that China and other Asian nations have been buying up all type of quote-unquote agricultural properties located directly in and around our nuclear military facilities and ain't growing shit? I wish I could make this shit up, people. They ain't growing no rice. They ain't growing no corn. They not growing no wheat, no barley. They not growing no soy. Wasted agricultural land just sitting there. What's under that shit? And why is it around our military nuclear? Damn it, buy some damn property in Disneyland or some damn where. Why around my nuclear facilities? And second, where y'all at? Where y'all at? Where they at, Randy? Where they at, T-Bone? I have yet to see a block or a street full of Asian migrants just hanging out.
Well, they're all underneath the ground. I mean, if the Hollywood people are building their mega ground shelters, underground shelters to obviously to protect themselves, protect what's done near and dear to them, which is their their wealth. And these Chinese are buying up all this land. First of all, shame on us for selling it to them. Okay. And I want to know who's behind the sales of the real estate to the Chinese around the military bases, and they should be thrown in prison for treason. Because can you imagine if an American businessman wanted to buy land surrounding a Chinese military top secret base? You think they're going to allow us to buy the land? No.
T-Bone said it earlier. This shit is global, and see. This government, and this is my opinion only, this government over 50, 60, 70 years, they've had some cocky, evil, powerful leaders, but dumb. These world leaders around the world, see, I grew up on Chinese movies. And the grandmasters and shit like that, these people that think methodically, and the people like Putin, the people that built Putin to be who he is and built this young man in North Korea, these were some geniuses, bro. These were some A-game alpha, I'm going to cut your throat ballers. And America thought all this time they was duping them, and they was fucking playing America. Because America has stupid leaders, clumsy, stupid motherfuckers with a lot of money, with no real baller skills. These leaders in these other countries, these baller skills have been passed down from generation to generation to generation, lineage to lineage, lineage. Our shit is built off corruption. Well, guess what? While we thought we was playing other countries, countries was like, yeah, but send me this, send me that, send me this. I'm gonna nip. Oh, okay, oil. We're gonna deal with the oil. You think you getting me, nigga? I'm getting you, and y'all gonna find that shit out in the long end. They methodically, purposely screwed America when America thought they were screwing them. And now the draft has been implemented because I've always told people there's no purpose of America trying to conquer a country that they can no longer control. These people that are trying to do this to America, they don't want China to have this country. They don't want Russia to have this country. They want this land, but they want this land for themselves. They want to be able to say they have theirs, like other dictators have theirs. But what they found out was they've created a monster over decades with these people. And God just so has it to where basically he's cut the locks off of Samson. America is vulnerable. But you know what? America, the leadership of America has put us in this position. The position we sit in right now, isolated off from the rest of the world, is a lonely and dangerous position to be in. When we have to rely on third world countries to stock us up on oil during wartime, and they turn that swivel chair around and show us their back, say, you see what 50 years of dealing with us got you? When we try to go to other countries to supply us with steel manufacturing, and they have manipulated and pulled that away from this country, and we go to them saying we need tanks and fighter jets like Randy stated earlier, we need to make this and that, and they turn that swivel chair around. And we got a punk ass administration that, as you can obviously see, isn't doing anything on a minute scale. So can you imagine what they're not going to do when things really get deep? We're in for a tough ride, and I'm just so glad that there are enough people that are going to be able to explain the situation that we're in to the ones that have been walking around so blindly during this whole process. I tell people this process, it's been a long time since this process has been a political process. There is nothing political about this. This isn't politics. This isn't politics. This is a whole new beast. This is and that's sad when you can't come up with a word for it, because it's something you never experienced before in your life. So it's hard to grasp it. And maybe that's why a lot of people choose to just stay hands off, because I can imagine how it wraps and rips my brain. So for the average person that doesn't do what we do, that can't even start to gain the concept of this, we are involved in World War III, and it is about to hit home. The chess pieces are on the board. We are not going to go into November with a kumbaya moment. There, like T-Bro said, there's an energy here in America. There's a percolation here in America that's growing. And before the energy can reverse itself back to the positive force, the evil energy has to, in one way, shape, or form, be either eliminated, and I don't want to think about the alternative, which is the evil force continuing to go on and prosper and grow, because then that becomes what T-Bone said earlier. that becomes the actual and factual reality of world dominance. What they want, total control. In America, God is good. Amen. Hallelujah. I've told my followers since day one, America will go as Americans take it. We are that last beacon of hope for this world. Because if globalization is able to occur, we are all going to fall under the submission of an evil force. We are all going to be slaves to a master that is unknown to us. And that's never going to happen. We got too many guns, too many good red-blooded Americans. We have the biggest army in the world, and I'm glad. I'm just glad that it's revealing itself in the way it does. Go ahead, Randy. Go ahead, and then we'll go to T-Bone.
Yeah.
Wrapped up.
Yeah, I'm just going to say this, and I got to jump. You know, I've been listening to what you're saying, and both of you guys, and you know, I'm not sure how much your guest knows about me and my background, but I do genealogy.
Break it down for him. You got time.
And I don't know why, but every one of my clients, I market on Facebook, but every one of my clients have come from someone in the South trying to find their connection to a Southern Confederate soldier. Okay. So even I have, you know, ancestors who fought for the South. But they all, you know, 99.9% of my clients are Confederates. And because of my connection through them, finding what they were hoping to find, which is the Confederate soldiers, you know, they brought me into their flock and had me join various groups and so forth. And if we ever had a civil war, okay, and that's where we're headed, okay. We're headed, even what country was saying that they're afraid, Canada is afraid that we're going to be fighting a civil war. But you know, the groups that they joined me up with all have various connections to the South. One group is the military arm. They're the ones who have the weapons, they have the bunkers, they have the bullets, the ammunition, the armored whatever. They're the ones who are the arm of their militia. You have another group who is trying to strive to secede the original states from the North again, as well as some northern states. So they're doing political to try and change the world. You have another group of Confederates who are there for providing medical supplies, you know, food, water, protection in case of a war. And there's a couple other groups all doing something a little bit different, but for the striving of the rise of the South again, okay? The problem they have is that they all follow a unique general from the Confederate War and their allegiance to that particular general. So if there ever was a time to come together, it is now, but they don't know how to come together. They're fighting each other for control of the mighty. And what I'm trying to say here is that, you know, it's just, you know, I've brought this up in other broadcasts and got nailed down really bad for my thoughts about a civil war which involves the South rising again. And it all boils down to this, is that if the American citizen went to war against the American government, which is currently in control by the Democrats, weaponry wise, they have the White House has their tanks, they have their fighter jets, they have the nuclear weapons, things like that. So it would be a massacre of a massive level. But and I would come back with
that goes back to what we always talk about. That goes back to you then concluding that the military will turn against its own people. But I still take the stance that the hierarchy that is running this shit is not going to be able to influence the mass majority of the United States military. And me being a vet is where I take that stand, because there are too many soldiers that have died for this country. There are too many that have love and respect for this country that I believe out of staying within the boundaries, because Lord knows where those boundaries are right now, just haven't been able to do what they really want to do and make a decision. The first unlawful order given would really be a downfall to their agenda, because that would put things in total reverse. I still think that we're going to get into a war, but I don't think it's going to be a war against this government. I believe that they have set us up in a position to where World War III is going to be declared. There will be attacks home and abroad, which will then give them the right to declare martial law, because America will then be in chaos, to shut everything down. They will then take away up to 300,000 of our men and women and replace all of their jobs with these millions of illegals that they have placed here. That's why they're trying to give them these work visas and make them make the spouses citizens, so the Americans have no jobs to come back to. And it once again be like the COVID and everything. It'll be a major transition to the way of life for Americans in America, to where eventually they hope we don't call it America no more, but the land will still be here. I think they're just trying to make a transitional transformation of this country. Why not call up the illegals? Why not say, okay, there's 11 million illegals here. Y'all make it back, you can stay. Y'all going to fight. Why are you going to call up American citizens knowing you got these illegals over here? See, sometimes things just don't make sense, and that's what gets me. I mean, I'm not nobody perfect. I'm not nobody special. Sometimes things just don't make sense. So you allow 11 million illegal Americans to come over, but then you're going to put a draft in where you can snatch up as many American citizens as you can. So if you snatch them up, because it ain't like you just say, hey, we want all the unemployed Americans. No, you snatching people away from their job, their home, their families, just to replace them with the illegals. And then companies can go back from paying American citizens $18, $19, $25, $26 an hour. They can recycle and go back down to $9, $12 an hour with these people. And then
I want to hear what your host, your guest has to say. I gotta jump off.
All right, go ahead, T-Bro. Go ahead, T-Bro. Are you muted, T-Bro? Go ahead, T-Bro. You muted on your phone. I can't hear you. Is there a button? You're unmuted on my end. Click off and come right back. Click off, come right back. So you can close it out. And then yeah, just click off and come right back. They're like, oh no, we don't need another black person talking with Ray and Randy. We can't have that. But y'all go ahead and like, share, and subscribe. Today's a good day. I had Randy the genealogist Rose in the building. Today was a good conversation. We were able to cover a lot of topics. But like Randy said, there are people that are getting prepared as we speak, that have already been getting prepared. Do we got your volume back?
You hear me now?
All right, go ahead. Floor is yours.
Yeah, sorry, somebody was FaceTiming me.
That's
Hey,
all right.
so I just wanted to say this before I get off, y'all. The biggest thing I learned when I transitioned to Africa that relates to America, in my honest opinion, I learned how to disconnect from all of them. I had a 5-bedroom, 3,000 square foot home, Mercedes, Audi. I had all of that. Seats by the court with the Hornets for 18 years. And I just let them go this year. I had to learn how to disconnect from all of the material things that America has taught us to love and want. Until Americans can disconnect from jewelry, clothes, cars, bling bling, all of this, and disconnect from these devils that they have taught us to call celebrities, who misled us way back from COVID and still doing it today. If we can't disconnect, they will always have the upper hand. That's one of the biggest things I respect about Africans. I'm in Liberia. People are poor. They don't have food to eat. It's not a fake. It's real. Like if you give somebody a banana over there, they're going to peel it and eat it in your face. They don't want money. They be wanting food at times. They are not into material things. They don't give a damn about their celebrities. They got celebrities too. Burna Boy, Tim, they got the Afrobeat stars. They'll go watch them and then they'll go back to their regular life the same day. They don't give two F's about them. We're the ones that are brainwashed and connected to Jay-Z and Beyonce and all of this nonsense, sports, all of that. And until we disconnect from the things they taught us to love and idolize, they will always, always have the upper hand. So that's just the biggest thing I wanted to put out before I got off, y'all.
Randy?
Yeah, I mean, I want to ask a question, but I don't want to offend your guest, but I'm just curious because you got this.
I won't get offended. Hey,
being the only pale-skinned person here, as a white person, I've always heard that for an American, a Black American to go to Africa to visit, or in your case, I guess, to live, that you're looked at differently because you're not considered African because you're an American. And I think it's because it's like you're saying that we're so used to our lifestyle, to our bling bling, our expensive cars, our big houses, food on the table on a regular basis. We don't know what it's like going into a country where they don't have that. And like you're saying, to get a banana, it's like you give them a feast. So, with you being in, you said Liberia, do you see them treating you as if we were treating a Black person in the United States?
Oh, that's an awesome question, man. I'm so glad you asked that. I can answer it quick, too. I know we're running out of time.
No, you good. Go ahead.
It's all about the person. Now, I'm going to keep it real. When I first got there, I'm not lying to y'all. Everywhere I went, I got the crooked eye. I'm going to be blunt. I'm talking about the real crooked eye. Like, you're not African. What are you doing here? Who are you? Can we trust you? I got the crooked eye. I would see Liberian boys with no money. They broke. They could walk up to a beautiful African girl, fine girl, hey, fine girl. And the girl will stop and at least listen to them. Me, I would say, fine girl. They'll look at me and run. They were scared of me. I'm telling you, they was run. They would start walking fast. And I was like, whoa, what's going on? So long story short, it took about 1.5 years. The smartest thing I did was I did not move into one of those compounds where the Chinese, white, Black people with money. I never
You were amongst the people.
I did not. I moved next door with the Liberian people.
That's
I
right.
walked
That's
down
right.
dirt roads with the people, so they got to know me at a much faster rate. If I would have moved in one of them compounds, they would
And
still
most
be.
importantly, they got to know the real you. It's
Yes.
sort of like when my dad was in the Air Force. When I got to jump off back in the early '60s. Okay, early '60s. My dad's a master sergeant in the Air Force. He got stationed over in England, and because of his rank, he was able to take my mom, my brother, and me and lived in England. Now he had a choice. He could live on military base, but he decided to move in the neighborhood where the English people themselves lived. Okay, now we moved there with our American car. Okay, gigantic ship that it was back then. Okay, we got there in our gigantic car, our 2 refrigerators, our 6 TV sets. I mean, we just had it everywhere, right? The English people in the early '60s had battery operated cars. They had a dorm sized refrigerator because when they went for groceries, they would go every day to buy their groceries because they didn't have the gigantic upright refrigerator freezer like we did. When we would go to the base for our groceries, we would drive home with a trunk and a back seat full of groceries. Christmas time, we had the Santa Claus out on the roof. We had the tree decorated in lights. We had the colored lights going on. You know, we had everything that so my dad didn't, move into the neighborhood to live with the people. It was kind of like, here we are where Americans are up in your face. It took them almost 2 years to realize that really wasn't what we were about. In fact, at some point, the double-decker buses would actually stop outside our house at Christmas time so people could see the Christmas lights. And eventually we made really good friends and lifelong friends and so forth. But I give you kudos because you live amongst the people of Liberia as an American citizen who obviously has some money. I'm not saying you're filthy rich or whatever, but taking the chance that, because you hear so much about how the nation as the continent as a whole is in an uproar where people are being killed for their land and their money and their wealth and so forth. So you took a chance to live among the people, let them know who you're about and that you're there to live with them, not above them. And to that speaks highly of you. And with that, I got to jump.
All right.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
We're going to go ahead and land this plane. I'm going to wrap it up with this. You can see the genuineness and the authenticity of a person really through their eyes. The eyes are the narrow way or the freeway to the soul.
Yeah.
And you had to been doing it a long time to be able to look at somebody in the eye and know if they full of shit or if they down for their shit. And sometimes a lot of people lose focus on who they follow, who they trust, who they believe in. You have to, all candy ain't good candy. All candy ain't sweet. So if you're thinking all candy sweet, you might be in for a big surprise. Somebody throw a sour ball in your mouth when they got you blindfolded because your eyes ain't open. Just pay attention to what's going on around you. You have to really know what's going on these day and age, and it's not about it's not about nothing political. For everybody watching right now, like, share, follow, subscribe, ring the bell so you can get the notifications. I got T-Bro with me. We're about to land this plane. This is not about politics, and it hasn't been about politics for a very long time. When you literally see a part of a government in any country go to the lengths in which this government is going to silence a leader of an opposition party. Just go back in history and see what other countries do, and then fast forward to America and just say to yourself, you use that common sense trigger that you got back there and say, wow, are there any type of similarities? Just use your common sense trigger. Say, did they lie about anything? Just use the common sense trigger and go and say, is Donald Trump really a racist? Let me go find some racist cases on Donald Trump. And I don't mean go pull up some shit because he didn't let nobody live in an apartment building. I don't want to hear shit about his daddy. Okay? I don't want to hear none of that. The time for fun and games and shit and giggles is over, people, patriots, whoever you consider yourself to be. The longer we have those that want to play the game, the harder you're making it for the ones that truly believe in the pursuit of happiness, democracy, freedom, justice, equality for all. See, I can't make it no plainer than that. For all. So that means color falls under that. Religion falls under that. For all people. For all people. And for you Biden fans, you know I gotta just address y'all. You cannot vote for a person that his whole sole purpose is to tear down his opponent and at the same time not be able to tell you anything that he's done better to improve your life directly or anything he's going to do. Since when did that change in the American psyche of what we want in our president? I'll give you the last word, T, bro.
I'll end it on what you just spoke on. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I'm a black man born in America, served my country in the United States Army. The only reason I started speaking out against Trump haters was when I started seeing the media and people online saying that if you do speak out against a Trump hater, or you do support Trump, or you do vote this way, that you're basically you're not black, you're not a man, you're not part of the hood. You know, that's when I started calling out the Trump haters and everybody, oh, you a Trump supporter. And I always said, call me whatever you want. I don't even care. But you're not going to tell me who to vote for. You're not going to tell me I can speak on. And that's where I believe we're finally getting to today. We're finally more men, which should have been men from the beginning, no disrespect to women, but that's our job. But more men are finally standing up, not caring about what their cousin, their aunt, their father, their mother might say. If they say, you know what, I support this man. I support Trump. Finally, we're getting there. And sadly, basically, the country almost had to get tore down to the ground for us to get there. But I think we finally right about there. So it's better late. Better late.
Yeah. You are so right. You are so right. There are many people that are deciding to do the right thing. The right thing. There's no gray area when you decide to do the right thing. And you can't let nobody, when you know you're doing the right thing, you can't let nobody overpower you with their opinion on how they believe you should think. Don't let them intimidate. Well, you know the consequences of thinking that way. What? For thinking the right way? Listen, they nailed my Jesus to the cross. What else? What can they do to me? What won't they do to me? What won't they do to others that refuse to bow down to the lie? Takes me back to the story of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. I think that was the three. And the king came and told him, only thing you gotta do is bow down to me. I believe they turned their backs to the king and suffered the consequences. But then there was something in the midst. then they said a fourth appeared. Yeah, they said a fourth appeared while they was engulfed in flames. The king had them inflamed, and then out of nowhere, they said a fourth appeared. O ye of little faith. God said, I will never leave you nor forsake you. I go all over this America. Well, not all over, but places I go. And there's a lot of people that like to lay claim to a particular saying. Oh, I live here in God's country. This is God's country. You can go to the oceans and to the seas and walk on the beach. And they'll look, this is God's country. You can go to the hills of Kentucky, West Virginia, and Appalachia, and they'll go to the tippity top and look out into the sky. Oh, this is God's country. God has a covenant with his people that inhabit his land. He never said there wouldn't be trials and tribulations. Didn't never say there wasn't things we was gonna go through. But at the end, he just have a little faith. Just have a little faith, and I'll navigate. I knew all of this was gonna happen. I prepared a table already. It's all laid out. I knew how many people was gonna be sitting down. I knew who wanted apple juice, orange juice, milk, water, wine. I knew all of this before it even took place. Just have a little faith. Hey, I appreciate you, T, bro. Hey, anytime, man, you want to come into the lab and bring some of your knowledge and expertise in life, bro, you're always welcome. You're always welcome.
But let me say this, brother. The fact that you just popped up on a little random live I did last night, and then you just out of the blue invited me to be a part of your show, as I always say, that's how God works, brother. That's how God works. We didn't know each other really from a can of paint. So I appreciate you inviting me. And hey, anytime you need me, just hit me up. If I'm free, I'll be glad to join. Definitely. I
appreciate you. And are you in Africa now, or did you fly back, or are you flying back to Africa?
No. I'm leaving next week. Next week, I've been here like 3 months. So next week, I'll finally be headed back.
Okay. Contact me when you get back, brother. Safe travels. Stay safe down there. Give blessings to the brothers and sisters in Africa. And I appreciate you taking your time out to be into the lab today, man.
Definitely will. Thank you. Appreciate y'all having me. Thank you.
Appreciate you. Oh, yes. So, it is always a pleasure when I'm able to have different people from different walks of life come and interact and bring their perspective on what they see and how they view the movements in and around America. And like the brother T Bro was just saying, more and more people are just deciding to take a stand and do what's right. And that's all we've ever asked. And like he said, and it's very, very true, it's better late than never. So, people, patriots, whoever you consider yourself to be, like, share, subscribe, ring the bell so you can get them instant notifications. Share this video. I'll see you tonight, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time in the lab. Be there, or you already know. Deuces. This is your boy. I'm out. Thank you for tuning in.